online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
What's up, everybody? You are tuning in live on AfterBuzz TV. You're watching us live on the AfterBuzz TV YouTube page, AfterBuzzTV.com. You're listening on iTunes and SoundCloud. Make sure you always subscribe and give those 5 stars, and tell your friends about all the great shows we do here at AfterBuzz. We got a special treat for you today on AfterBuzz TV's Tough Enough. I'm Christian Rosenberg. Joining me right now, our AfterBuzz UFC host and Tough Enough contestant, the Jersey Devil herself, Daria Berenato is here.
On?
What's up?
What's happening?
You are kind of like kicking some ass right now on Tough Enough.
I'm trying. So if you see it that way, I think I'm doing something right.
Well, I think judging from your kind of your Twitter and your Instagram lately at Tough Daria, your biggest inspiration seems to be this inflatable lobster you're carrying around. And
not only is it my biggest inspiration, but it is my child.
Okay. So what is the story behind this?
I walked in the house and I see this beautiful red lobster laying over by the hot tub. And I just knew in that moment that he was mine. And I named him the Jersey Lobster. And he's kind of like my little sidekick. He comes everywhere with me. We got our nails done the other day. We went and got sushi. And then we took a shower.
Okay. Well, then, it's good. It's good, like mother-daughter time.
Yeah, exactly. I need a break from all the tension and all the competition just to hang out with my child.
So what is this competition like? Because this is a whole different feel for you. You're trained in MMA, and you're making that transition into sports entertainment. So what are the main difficulties for you in that switch?
I wouldn't say anything is difficult because of that switch, but it's definitely an entirely new territory. I mean, of course, I'm not used to holding back my punches and bumping and doing all that kind of crazy stuff. But I feel like the MMA has prepared me to do that stuff, because the one thing the MMA and the WWE have in common is they're both still aggressive, combative sports. So it's still athleticism that's involved, and it's still, aggression and stuff like that. So I feel like that makes a lot of the things easy for me, because it's like, okay, I can transfer this into what I already do.
And what made you even kind of decide to try to submit again on this show? Because obviously, like you said, with the background in MMA, what made you decide, hey, maybe I should give Tough Enough a try? And lo and behold, here you are in the final 11.
Right. Well, as you know, Maria Menounos, a friend of both of ours, she was in the WWE briefly, and she still makes appearances and stuff like that. And when I saw her wrestle, I was like, oh my God, it's so cool. And I actually talked to her about it. I was like, what's it like doing that? Because I think it looks pretty, I can't curse. Oh no, this is hard. It looks pretty cool, So she kind of talked to me about it, and she's like, hey, girl, if you can do what I've seen you do in the cage, you can definitely transfer that knowledge over to the WWE ring. And that's kind of the moment where I realized, like, I think this sport might be for me. Like, I think sports entertainment is what I've always longed for. I already entertain. I work for AfterBuzz. I host a show. I love talking, as we all know. And I've always been an athlete. So it's kind of like when I found out what the WWE really was all about, I was like, wait a second, this should be my home.
And describe a typical day at your new home. What is a typical day like for you guys at the Performance Center?
There's no typical day. No typical day. You could be woken up by Billy Gunn with a blaring air horn saying, get up, Jersey, get up. You could be, woken up peacefully at 10 a.m. by the nice production people and, taken to a challenge where we swim with alligators and snakes. There's really no typical day here.
So, let's talk about that that's swimming with alligators and snakes, because obviously that was on last week's episode. You were a focal point because you lost your NXT title, and on the Tough Talk they had it back for you, but Paige was saying you have to earn that title back. What do you think you're going to have to do to get that title back from Paige?
Well, first of all, let me start off by saying dropping the title is like secrecy here. Obviously it's something that should be guarded and protected. So, like I said on last week's show, that was my mistake, and there's not room for many more. So, but without failure, there's not success. So from here, it's going up, and I think I'm going to earn that title back by performing in these future challenges, which is what I plan on doing and what I've already done in this past week, which you guys will see on tomorrow night. And I think Paige will see that, and I think she'll end up giving the title back. So I'm glad that some scuba diver went down there and got it for me.
You have a pretty big moment on this show, because you've come out, as far as on a national television spectrum. What has the response been from your friends, family, and obviously new fans from the WWE universe who might have not known you before this show?
Right. Yeah. When I came out on that first episode, it was kind of a crazy moment because, I'm 21 years old. I really haven't dealt with my situation thus far in my life. It's kind of just been a secret up until now, besides my immediate family. So, of course, I got a lot of phone calls and a lot of tweets and social media messages just saying, hey, I never knew this. And everyone, for the most part, has been super, super supportive. The WWE Universe, out of everyone, has been the most supportive. I've only gotten great comments and great backlash off of this. So it's really been such a great experience. And to be able to be on a platform like this and go through such an authentic experience and, hopefully have people going through what I am see this and get good from it, it's awesome, But I definitely had some issues to deal with when certain people found out, but for the most part, it's been an amazing experience.
How have WWE fans differed than MMA fans to you?
Oh, that's a good question. WWE fans are so much more into it. They're so much more involved, I feel like, because there's characters in the WWE. You have your villains and you have your nice guys, and they're really over the top, larger than life characters. So that gives fans something to hold on to and something to really grasp onto and enjoy. And they get hardcore, if you're a villain in the WWE, you're a villain in life. And those fans, they love to hate you. And same thing with being the good guy, like the John Cena's and stuff like that. They love to love you. They're just really intense. Whereas MMA fans, they're more of general sports fans, I think. They follow the sport. They're super intelligent. They're super passionate about it. But when it comes to the individual person, I feel like they don't get into it as much. They don't have that personal hatred or love like they do in the WWE, which is really cool.
Now, if you go the distance and you pull off winning one of those two contracts, you would be... There you go. I like that. You will be down in NXT full time. Now, the contracts that the Tough Enough winners are going to win are substantially higher than your typical NXT superstar. So right off the bat, whoever wins, when you and whatever guy wins, you guys are going to kind of have a target on your back. So are you ready? Are you ready for that?
The funny thing about this is my life kind of prepared me for this exact situation. I've always started from the bottom and worked my way to the top, and that's kind of been my journey. My dad owns a company. I started out in the parts room, in the garage, cleaning all the parts and organizing them. I've never had anything handed to me. I've always worked for what I've had. So I have no problem being the smallest fish in this big ocean of NXT superstars and divas and working my way up and proving to them that I'm here for a reason. Being a female in any combative sport is the same or a similar struggle. Being a female in the MMA world was the same thing. Every gym I started at, I never got taken seriously. It was oh God, what's this girl doing here? She's here to meet her next boyfriend or whatever. And I've always come out on top, and they've always kind of seen, wow, this girl really wants this. So that's not a concern of mine at all.
All right. We got a few Twitter questions for you that got sent in here. At Wheels_5TUD, he wants to know, who's your favorite to win on the men's side?
Ooh, I'm a big fan of Josh.
Okay.
The Yeti is super charismatic. Like, he's one of those guys who's just like pours charisma. Like, you're around him, you want to be around him. He's super athletic, and he's just a genuinely nice guy, and he's super confident. And I think confidence in this sport will get you far. So I'm going to go with Josh.
Okay. At C Wolfgang 28 wants to know, who do you feel is your biggest competition?
Out of the females, let's see. I'm going to have to go with Georgia.
Why Georgia?
Georgia is stunning, of course. She's beautiful, but she's also really good athletically. I think she's probably, beneath me, the most athletic girl.
Okay.
And well-rounded in general.
And then one more Twitter question. At L4ST Kings, she wants to know if you dislike Gabby, and if so, why? I take that laugh as a yes, but
This is funny. I don't waste my time disliking anybody. I don't think she deserves to be here.
Okay.
And I would like to see her go home. I'll say that.
Gotcha. And then, of course, my co-host, George Hermosa, wants to know if you've talked to Sarah Lee for him. Because he's...
George, I'm working on it, but she has a boyfriend. Let it go, man.
Oh, see, okay.
George is the single one.
I'm going to make sure we play that clip when we do the Tough Enough AfterBuzz tomorrow, so he hears that.
Please do. He'll love that, I'm sure.
So, like, how much free time do you guys normally get? Do you get time to sit and do you guys listen to these different podcasts that are talking about the shows and what they like and don't like about everyone on them?
The really cool thing about how this is set up is that we are so interactive on social media. Like, they encourage it rather than discourage it. So, we get the time to Periscope, and we get time to listen to these podcasts. And obviously, AfterBuzz is the fan favorite in the house, even though I don't like that you guys excluded me from picking me to win because I'm a host there. What's up with that?
Well, we have to, because we know we're all picking you, so we have to kind of be, we can't just say, all right, Daria's winning, that's the end of it. So we're trying to say, all right, who has the best chance of second place?
Oh, okay.
Is that a good answer?
Fair.
Was that smooth? Did that work?
Yeah, that was okay. I'll give you that.
Well, hey, you make sure you do us a favor, and tomorrow night when you guys are live on USA, whenever you get that question asked to you, whatever it is, try to bring up AfterBuzz in your answer, because that would be awesome.
I will try to do that, because AfterBuzz has definitely done a lot for me in my career, so I will try and give the same back.
And do you have any notes or anything that you want to say to all, obviously, your AfterBuzz fans or all your new WWE fans that are listening in right now?
They've all been transferring over, and it's been so cool. They're like, oh, my God, I used to watch you on AfterBuzz, and now it's really cool. So, first of all, thank you to the AfterBuzz community for being so loyal and for checking out, my personality and my athletic abilities on Tough Enough. Tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 5 p.m. for my LA friends. It's going to be a really interesting episode, guys. This week's challenge was super entertaining. You're not going to want to miss this one. Plus, there's a little drama going down.
Drama in a reality show? What?
What?
Drama in reality?
On a reality show?
Never.
It's so crazy. But you guys can find me at Tough Daria on almost all social media, and vote for the Jersey Devil.
There you go. You heard it here first from the Jersey Devil herself. Daria, thanks so much for taking some time to check in with us. We're watching you, rooting you for the rest of the way. I interviewed the day after Tough Enough episodes of whoever gets eliminated, so I don't plan on talking to you until the show is over. So then I'm talking about how it feels to win.
We'll talk when I get back in like 8 to 10 weeks, okay?
That sounds good to me. All right, thank you so much.
Hold down the fort over there.
You got it. Done. This is Daria Berenato, everybody. Follow her at Tough Daria. And, of course, watch her on Tough Enough. Vote for her. If for whatever issue's in the bottom three, you save her. Make sure she stays in so we can cheer her on the entire way. Thanks so much for tuning in. You can follow me again at Real Rosenberg on Twitter. And, of course, for all your other AfterBuzz TV news and gossip, follow us on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV. Again, big thanks to Daria. I'm Christian Rosenberg, and we will see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.